The difference between manipulation and earning attention, affection, and favor is that manipulation occurs relatively close to the time she wants something. Earning favor is being a good woman all the time. Today, I'm going to talk about how women manipulate and how to stop it. So the first question is why? Why do females manipulate men? Well, the reasons are vast, but the main ones are money, gifts, favors, or anything that benefits them, tangibly or otherwise. For example, she wants to go on a weekend getaway, so she lets you have sex with her twice a day for an entire week. Here's another example. She wants a kitchen upgrade, so she tells you that you can have a man cave so that you'll agree to a 5-figure mortgage refinance loan so she can get her overpriced kitchen. Another really good example would her being on her best behavior because she wants you to propose. She gives you brain every night, lets you go backdoor, cooks meals for you every night, she's kind, agreeable, feminine, etc. Today's women rarely do anything for a man just to be nice. There is always an ulterior motive, and that's where the manipulation comes in. But here's the thing. Females aren't master manipulators, guys. Yes, they are good at manipulating men, but they're not psychologically messing with anyone using a brilliant mix of guile and deception. What makes their manipulation tactics so effective is that we want to sleep with them. That's it. If we didn't want to sleep with women, they couldn't manipulate us, period. Now, that said, it is very important to make the distinction between a woman attempting to manipulate you and a woman trying to earn favor. The difference between manipulation and earning attention, affection, and favor is that manipulation occurs relatively close to the time she wants something. Earning favor is being a good woman all the time. If a woman knows she's good to you and is doing what she needs to do to hold it down as your girl, like regular bedroom fun, cooking, looking good for you all the time, representing you well in public, giving you access to her phone, staying off social media, not going out to bars or clubs or traveling without you, then she doesn't feel the need to manipulate you into doing something for her. She knows she's entitled to good treatment from you because she's a good woman to you. Women who manipulate men for gifts, money, trips, and so forth know they're not doing what's necessary to be a good woman. Women who use manipulation tactics know that they haven't built up enough equity with you to simply ask you for what they want. So they let you go backdoor or dress provocatively or cook your favorite meal or whatever it is they think they can do to manipulate you. And once they get what they want, that good behavior stops. And that is how you know it's manipulation. Women who are good women all the time know that they have the right to ask you for things, and they know that in order to keep that privilege, they have to continue to do what's necessary to feel entitled to good treatment from you. So now that we know how to recognize manipulation, the question now becomes, how exactly do women manipulate us and how do we stop it? Now, there are way too many examples of their manipulative tactics to cover in just one video, but there are 3 techniques that just about every woman uses to manipulate men. I'm going to tell you what those 3 techniques are, why they use them, and the proper responses to reduce the likelihood of women using these methods against you down the road. But first, let me remind you to like, subscribe, and share this video if you think my work is important and can help other men. Okay, let's talk about the 3 most common ways that women manipulate men and how to correctly respond. The first common manipulation technique most women use is compliments and praise. Why? To reinforce the behavior she wants you to repeat. Now, to be fair, sometimes a compliment is just a genuine compliment. But whether it's a genuine compliment or manipulation, they both have the same objective: to positively reinforce the behavior. Here's an example of a genuine compliment. You look great in red, sweetie. She wants you to wear red. Your woman wants you to look attractive, so that's a good thing. Here's an example of manipulation. You're such a good dishwasher, or you have a sexy mouth. I'll bet you give great oral, or OMG, you're such a great cook. Now, maybe you are a good dishwasher, maybe you do have a sexy mouth, and maybe you are a great cook. But that's not something you're going to do on the regular, and she needs to understand this very clearly. So here are the proper responses to these manipulation attempts. When she says, OMG, you're such a great dishwasher, your response? Don't get used to it. When she says to you, your mouth is so sexy, I'll bet you give great oral, your response? You'll never find out. Do not be afraid to be blunt, guys. If you don't like, quote, eating tacos, tell her straight up that's not what you're going to do. And if she raises a big stink about it, ignore it. Eventually, she will calm down and go back to focusing on your needs in bed, which is more important to her in the first place. When she says, oh, you're such a great cook, your response? So are you. That's why you do all the cooking. Now, when she gives you a genuine compliment, you can respond in one of 2 ways. When she says to you, you look great in red, sweetie, you can simply say, thank you. Or you can take the crimson capsule route, smirk at her and say, yeah, prove it. She will know exactly what you're getting at, and she'll love that you tease her with these innuendos. Girls love it when they compliment you and you don't jump at it and drink in all the praise and say, OMG, thank you so much. I really wanted to impress you with this outfit. I'm so glad you like it. The second most common way women manipulate men is crying or emotional outbursts. Why? To either lessen the blow of you reprimanding her for bad behavior or manipulating you into doing something she knows you don't want to do. Understand this, gentlemen, and listen good. The only time a woman's tears are genuine is when they are by themselves. I will repeat that. The only time a woman's tears are genuine are when they are alone. If a woman has an audience of even one other person, the tears she cries are crocodile tears, every time. A woman's tears are always a means to an end. Maybe she's trying to sway public opinion. Maybe she's trying to make you look bad. Maybe she's trying to convince a crowd of people that she's right and you're wrong. Maybe she's trying to get something from you. Whatever the case may be, when a woman has an audience, whether it's 1 or 21, there is always an ulterior motive. Always. Here's an example of her using this manipulation tactic. When you tell her that she was overly talkative to the waiter at the restaurant, when she knows damn well that she's not to talk to men in public unless she has explicit permission from you, she'll cry in silence and she'll make sure everyone in the restaurant sees her tears. She does this because she wants you to lighten up on your standards and doesn't want you to reprimand her for something she clearly knew was out of line. Here's another example. She asks you to do something, you tell her no, and she starts crying. Why? Because she wants you to believe that it's so important to her that she's willing to cry about it. She's also doing this to emotionally manipulate you. And if you give in and take your foot off the gas with regards to reprimanding her bad behavior in public or give in and do whatever it is she asked you to do, guess what? She's going to be doing a lot of crying because she knows that's the way to get you to do what she wants you to do. So here's how to handle the restaurant situation. You calmly hand her a tissue and say, when you're finished throwing your little tantrum, let me know what appetizer you want. And do so in a stone-faced, stoic manner. No emotion, zero sympathy. The proper response to her crying because she didn't get her way? You can cry all you want. The answer is still no. Do not let women believe that they can manipulate you through tears. They do it to everyone else. Their parents, their siblings, their friends, their bosses, their boyfriends, everyone. You are going to be the one man who does not fall for this nonsense. And when you show her that you don't fall for this nonsense, she will respect and love you for it. Women want men they cannot manipulate or control, and crying is a go-to manipulation tactic of women. Do not respond emotionally, gentlemen. Respond with frankness, stoicism, and borderline cold-bloodedness. Show her that her tears mean absolutely nothing to you. And when she realizes that she can't cry her way out of trouble or into getting her way, her love and respect for you will skyrocket. I speak from personal experience many times over. The third and final most common, most frequently used, and most effective manipulation tactic women use on men is sex. Sex is the number one thing women use to manipulate men. It doesn't necessarily have to be the actual act of intercourse. It could be a lure, or the false promise of bedroom fun, or the false promise of a sexual relationship. The list is endless. Women use their sexuality for everything, from free drinks at the club, to promotions at work, to avoid responsibility in any and all situations. You name it, they use it for it. But the time they use it the most is with their men in relationships. Sex is transactional for women. Now don't get me wrong, they do like it and do it for pleasure. But there's always another purpose for them giving up the booty. Even if they're at peak ovulation and can't wait to get home and let you pound the life out of her, she knows that in the back of her mind what her end game is. It's like walking onto a car lot with $20,000 and knowing exactly what car you want, but you're still going to negotiate. Now, we as men, we like sex because, well, we like it. We do it for pleasure. It feels great and we like doing it, period. End of discussion. Women, on the other hand, never have sex only for pleasure, even if they're doing it for the quote-unquote right reasons. Your girl may love doing it with you, but that doesn't mean that's the only reason she lets you sleep with her. In her mind, she knows that if she gives it up on the regular, you're much more likely to stick around. Yes, that is transactional. If I let him smash, he stays with me. Sequence, consequence, cost, benefit. This is a transaction, gentlemen. This is how it is. But most of the time, the transaction far outweighs the pleasure. And there are 4 main ways women use intimacy to manipulate and subsequently control you. Number 1, frequent action in the beginning and then slowing it down later. At the beginning of a relationship, fooling around is always great. You're doing it 3-4 times a day. She goes down all the time, she's going backdoor, she does it all. Now girls do this in the beginning because they actually want to do it. A shiny new toy is something girls like to play with. They want to play with it all the time. But eventually, they attempt to parlay that great action into what they think is equity. They think to themselves, well, I gave him brain 30 times when we first got together, so he will treat me well even if I stop. And most of the time, they're absolutely right, but not because of the equity. It's because dudes are simping and they're thirsty. The frequent bedroom fun stops, and now the dude thinks he has to take her to dinner to get any action. He got used to doing it with her all the time, which is exactly what she wanted. At that point, she knows she doesn't really have to do much of anything else to keep him around, not even sleep with him. She'll flip the script and start withholding the booty from him until he does things for her, like take her shopping, give her gifts, or any number of things she can think of. She is no longer on her best behavior unless he does exactly what she wants. Then, if he gets lucky, he gets unenthusiastic starfish sex and thanks his lucky stars when he gets even that. The second way women manipulate men with the booty is the B&B technique, which is BJ's and backdoor for short. She gave you a taste in the beginning, but then she cuts it off almost instantly to give you that scarcity mentality, meaning you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it back. It used to come freely and easily to you. She used to get on her knees and pull down her panties as soon as you walked in the door. But if you want that treatment now, you've got to take her to an expensive restaurant and drop $200. Back in the day, she used to beg you to go backdoor, but because you haven't gone backdoor in months, she knows she can use it to get something out of you, like the new iPhone or making a car payment for her. The third way women manipulate men with bedroom fun is withholding that bedroom fun to quote-unquote teach you a lesson or to control you. Girls do this all the time, especially when she's trying to change your rules or your fundamentals. Let's go back to the restaurant example where she got chatty with the waiter, shall we? If you didn't handle that situation correctly, meaning you gave into her emotional shenanigans, she will most definitely stop sleeping with you. She'll act upset because she wants to flirt with waiters but stay in a relationship with you. And she believes that by withholding access to her lady parts that you will cave and allow her to, on the assumption she'll give up the booty again. Girls also like to withhold intimacy when you make a decision she doesn't agree with. They withhold sex when you do something she doesn't like to teach you a lesson not to do it again. For example, if you work on a project for 2 hours longer than you told her you would, she'll stop doing it to teach you a lesson. The fourth way women use intimacy to manipulate you is by using it to reward you. Now they do this subconsciously, and here's how it works. She'll do it with you all day and night in the beginning, then she'll throttle the frequency back, and then she'll suddenly stop. Now, most men never call their women out if she doesn't want to get busy. If you walk up behind her and start kissing her neck and she pulls away, 99.9% of men won't say anything about it. He'll just shrug his shoulders and say, "Okay, babe, I understand you're not in the mood." As opposed to doing the crimson capsule thing, which would be shrugging your shoulders, grabbing your keys, turning off your phone, and disappearing for a while. If you do what most men do and not call her out on it, she will keep withholding her body from you until you crack and buy her something. Then she's got you right where she wants you. You're a trained monkey that she can extract things out of by taking away your bananas and only giving them back when you buy her stuff. At this point, the man is trained to pay for intimacy with his money, his time, and his resources, and it's all downhill from there. So what are the proper responses to sexual manipulation by women? Well, the first thing to keep in mind is that the sex is going to drop off in any relationship at least a little bit, and that's nobody's fault. You're getting used to each other, you're settling in, and at some point, things hit a state of normalcy because the novelty's worn off just a little bit. Perfectly natural, happens to even the horniest of couples. But when she starts withholding the booty, oral pleasure, and using them to punish or reward you, you need to address it swiftly and firmly. So let me give you a few examples and how to handle them. One way that women will attempt to manipulate you like this is by being direct and telling you she's going to reward you with a BJ, backdoor fun, or just sex. She will literally say, "If you buy me the iPhone, I will let you go backdoor," or "If you take me to Santa Monica, I'll go downtown," or "If you take me to XYZ restaurant, you can smash." Now, if you're a high-value male, she should be giving you access to all three holes whenever you want, as much as you want anyway. So if your woman is putting a price on sexual favors, you have already lost. Be that as it may, you can still stop this with one simple response. So when she says, "If you buy me the iPhone 12, I'll let you go backdoor," you say, "I'm gonna do that anyway, but I ain't buying you an iPhone 12. Are you my woman or are you a working girl?" This lets her know that you're gonna do what you want to do and that you're not going to pay for what you already get for free. And if you weren't getting it before, there is positively no need in paying for an unenthusiastic BJ or starfish sex treatment. This lets her know that you're going to do what you want to do and that you're not going to pay for what you already get for free. Now I'm going to give you the stone cold, surefire way to absolutely nuke any attempt your woman makes to withhold her body from you. This is a technique I have used dozens of times on real girls in real life. I didn't get this from a book or a blog or a YouTube video. This is based strictly on my own experience. And I want you to pay attention here, gentlemen, because this is next level game, meaning you have to be high value, which encompasses many things. You have to have extensive experience with women. You have to have the abundance mentality and absolute fearlessness when dealing with women, among other things. Because if you don't have all of these things in place, this technique is going to fall flat and blow up in your face. Most of you are not ready for the knowledge I'm about to drop on you. Of that, I'm certain. Well, how do I know I'm not ready for it? Simple. At the end of what I'm about to tell you, you're going to think to yourself, there's no way I can do this. There's no way any man can do this. That's how you know you're not ready. So now that you understand the level of game I'm about to give you, let's get to it. Let's say you and your woman get into a minor disagreement. Nothing major, just a little dust up about something stupid and inconsequential, and you checked her on it, and now she feels some type of way. Let's say you walk up behind her and start kissing on her neck, indicating that you want to get some action, and she pulls away. Now, the reason she's doing this is because she wants to, quote, teach you a lesson. Women only withhold intimacy after an argument if they feel like they lost or that you proved her point better than she proved hers. She basically knows you won, but she wants to have what she feels is the last word. So she is trying to punish you for having the audacity to argue with her, because real men abide by the BS axiom of happy wife, happy life, which means acknowledging that she is right in any and all situations. So anytime your woman attempts to punish you for what they feel is a transgression, there is only one way to handle this. So when she pulls away when you try to smash, do not say a word. Grab your stuff and leave without a word, and do not call or text until the next day. If she's at your place, kick her out. In either situation, whether you're at your place or hers, do not communicate with her at all. When you're grabbing your stuff to leave her house, she's going to hit you with everything she's got. She's going to say stuff like, "What the hell? Are you serious? You're just using me for bedroom fun? We are so done. You're acting like a baby. You're being so manipulative." No matter what she says, stay silent. Arguing with her or trying to explain yourself will always end badly. Leave her place and turn off her phone, and do not turn it on until the next day. Do not give her 1 ounce of access to you. You need to be in the wind. You want her questioning whether or not you even exist. That's the level of radio silence you need here. Then, the next day, give her a tiny bit of communication, as in texting her maybe 4 times the entire day with short, cold responses like, "Okay, sure, cool," and so forth. Not answering the phone when she calls and denying her the ability to physically see or even hear you for at least 2 days. And gentlemen, don't respond to her crazy texts. Don't respond to her crazy voicemails, which will be all over the map. One voicemail will say, "OMG, we're so done." Then the next one will say, "I love you so much, I'm so sorry, please pick up." The one after that will say, "Fine, I'm going to text my ex-boyfriend." Then the next one will say, "I will do whatever you want, just please call or text." She's going to want to make this up to you if you handled it correctly, and you're going to make her sweat it out. If she texts you, "Hey, can I come over tonight?" or "Do you want to come over tonight?" respond with, "Nah, I'm busy," or something to that effect. Doing this for no less than 3 days will make it crystal clear to her that her bad behavior, which is withholding intimacy, will not be tolerated. Then, at the end of day 3, you send her a text that says, quote, "We need to talk, my place at 7. As a side note, you will not go back to her place for at least a month. She needs to be on your territory to reestablish frame and dominance. Anyway, when she gets this text, it will send shockwaves through her body, mind, and soul. No matter what she says or asks in response, do not respond. She's trying to fish for information because she's assuming you want to break up. She'll poop test you relentlessly. She will tell you that she's not coming over if you don't tell her what you two are going to talk about. She'll tell you to stop playing games. She'll tell you she has plans. She's going to say whatever it takes to get you to spill the beans. Remember, girls do not handle rejection well, and they avoid it at all costs, but do not respond. She will be at your place at 7 sharp, and I guarantee it if you do not respond. When she does come over and she nervously asks, "Okay, what do we need to talk about?" simply reply with, never mind, it wasn't important, and continue as though nothing happened. Gentlemen, trust me when I tell you, she will never deny you sex again for any reason. Headache? Nope, she'll have Advil in her purse. Not in the mood? If you want to smash, she's going to let you smash every time. You want to know why? Because she doesn't want to feel like she felt for the last few days. Unable to eat, unable to sleep, checking her phone every 30 seconds, getting mad at her friends for texting her because she's waiting on your text, scouring your social media feeds to see where you are and who you're with, unable to bear the thought of being without you. This literally trains a woman to want to have relations with you to avoid the absolute dread and depression you inflicted upon her because she tried to manipulate you. The bottom line here, gentlemen, is that if she denies you intimacy for any reason, then you deny her the boyfriend treatment. Withdraw your time, withdraw your attention, withdraw your very present. If she does not uphold her end of the bargain, then you will not uphold yours. This doesn't need to be said out loud to her. Your actions will do the talking, and trust me when I tell you, she will read you loud and clear.